What's up, guys? DropDeadBread32 here, and welcome back to Tales from Reddit. I've got some Am I the Asshole today, where the main story is OP tells his wife to help out or get out. This first story from Open852. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for thousands for something my child broke? Now, the general consensus here is, according to Reddit, this person is indeed the asshole. I live in a pretty small town, so if you don't know someone directly, you're more likely to know a person who knows them. This is pretty much biting me in the ass right now. My husband and I are looking to upgrade homes, given we're planning on expanding our families, so we've been looking at a few open houses recently. About a week ago, we were at an open house where our daughter, 4, wandered off and picked up mass-type thing laying out on a table. Super bright, very loud, apparently very fragile, and pretty much right out in the open. When I started touching it, I told her to put it down, but it was too late, and somehow it had gotten cracked right down the middle. Now, I'm not sure if it was already broken, if they had left it out as some sort of trap, because who leaves something bright like that laying around in an open house with children walking around, or if she did anything. But I felt extremely embarrassed to grab my daughter and told my husband it was time to leave. My so-called friend of mine who knows the house owner saw me there and apparently told her she saw me rushing out of her house the same day she returned to find the mask broken. Now she's hitting me up on the phone demanding I pay her back for breaking art and naming it an absolutely ludicrous price. Think 4 figures. And I'm absolutely not going to pay her that. But a few people that I know of think I am in the wrong here. I personally think if you're having an open house, the children will be visiting, you don't leave expensive breakables out in the open. I also do not believe for a second that thing was worth thousands of dollars, and if it was, I think there's a very good chance that she broke it herself, like laying around to pin it on someone else and guilt some money out of them. Who's the asshole here? Now, my thoughts on this is, I see where OP is coming from. I really do. People who are looking for a bigger home, think 3-4 bedrooms. That's not going to be for one single person. And more than likely, they're going to have children with them. And the other flip side of that is, watch your freaking kids. It's not that hard. Do it like with a lot of, down in the comments, somebody said, and I'm going to reiterate this, take turns. If you're there with your husband or significant other or whoever else, one watches the kid while one looks and then they swap. Yeah, it makes the open house take a lot longer, but 1, the kid's being watched. 2, you're basically ensuring that nothing gets broke, or attempting to ensure that nothing gets broke. And 3, you don't have anything to worry about then. And yes, when you're going through open houses, you're not looking at just one house. You're going to multiple, and kids get cranky for going in and out of car seats, and it just becomes a huge. I can't even think of the word. I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to me later, and I'll be like, "Oh, hey, there it is." What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below who you think the asshole here is. Second story I have for y'all today is by Mixed Woes. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she cannot introduce her African-American boyfriend to her grandparents? Let me just preface this by just saying I have absolutely no problem with interracial relationships. Now that the air is clear, let me continue. My daughter, Anna, has recently started to date an African-American man named Jamal. While I'm not exactly what you would refer to as liberal, he's a nice young man, and as long as my daughter is happy, I'm happy. The problem is Anna is rather naive about the community she lives in. While her friends are quite content to see a relationship like hers, more than a few tongues are wagging in the community, and a few people have privately expressed their concern to me. As I said, I have no problem with the mixed relationships, and I've set them straight. but I am painfully aware of how these matters are viewed in certain segments of the population. My parents are planning to come to stay with us for a week, and Anna has expressed a desire to introduce Jamal to them. Now that things were getting more serious between them, I told her in no uncertain terms that this wasn't going to happen. Now, I may have no problem with Jamal, but they absolutely will. And even when the relationship ends, they won't forget it. Many go as far as to cut her off completely. Anna was extremely upset by this, implied that I was a racist, and had more concerns with what my parents think than how she feels. As I said, I know my parents. They simply aren't okay with mixed relationships. And if Anna were to bring Jamal even as a friend, they would both be furious at her and at me. Anna is currently staying with Jamal and doesn't want to speak with me right now. My wife stands by me, given she knows very well how my parents are. They had a problem with her for months over the length of her skirt she wore when I introduced them to her. For Christ's sake. But one close friend I confided in told me that I had behaved like an ass and that I should focus more on my daughter than pleasing my parents. No advice needed, but I have to know. Have I been an ass? Honestly, in my honest opinion here is it shouldn't matter what the color of your skin is. We're all red inside. I know that's very morbid to say, but it's the God honest truth. We are all red inside. And maybe OP's parents grew up in the deep south like my grandparents do, but again, that shouldn't matter. How do I say this without I don't know. This one's a tough one. Me personally, yeah, he made an ass out of himself. You stick up for your daughter. Because those grandparents will sooner or later want a relationship with their granddaughter again. And they will be not only be forced to basically bite their tongue, but to not only bite their tongue, I know I'm talking circus here, but also to just accept it. Because one, and for the creme de la creme of today's installment by Reddit user, Situational Frank. Am I the asshole for telling my wife to help out or get out? So my wife and I have been married for 12 years and I have 2 daughters. We've always had our share of household disputes, which are usually resolved. My wife quit work back in March to focus on schooling and to help her dad. He was diagnosed with liver cancer, I think. Anyway, she has only helped her dad out once by taking to the surgery and aftercare, which was back in April. She goes to school online, so it is all at her own pace to an extent. She has failed or nearly failed every class since quitting 2 or 3 classes, and does little to nothing around the house during the week. This all came to a head after this week. Our septic line broke in our house from our house to the ground. Ugh. And I spent the better part of Sunday underneath my house trailer, not that it's important, in sewage, mud, and other matters of nightmares to fix it. During this time, my wife sat in our living room watching TV. We needed to go get groceries, and she waited until I was finished and asked if I would take a shower and come with her to the store, which I said no. This became a huge deal because I never help out. Allegedly. I work 40 plus hours a week plus go to school online and spend time with my children. Usually on Saturdays, my kids and I go into town to play Magic the Gathering. Now, I ultimately got so angry at the whole ordeal that I bluntly told her that she needs to start doing more around the house, otherwise, get out. I am taking care of the kids, paying the bills, cleaning the house all by myself, and might as well be myself. Edit 1. My wife has depression and anxiety. However, I feel that many situation is simply a fallback on her, or rather a cop-out. I know this sounds insensitive, but in every instance where she comes up short, example, grades, promises, I'll go to the store tomorrow, etc., nothing. To clarify something for her anxiety only seems to come out when it's convenient. Again, I know sounds insensitive. Back in May, we went to Chicago where she could attend a BTS concert. She had little to no problem traversing the crowds or merchandise lines, yet the grocery shopping is a monumental task. I guess I have to side with OP. Whoa. Alright. I guess I have to side with OP on this one. Being married myself, the chores, they have to be, I mean, like, probably me and my wife break up. I mow the lawn during the summer months. Like, we have summer chores and then we have our winter chores. During the summer, like, the spring, summer, and fall, I mow the lawn. I take care of our chickens. I do the dishes. I pay all the bills. Well, most of the bills, I should say. And I think I sweep the floors. And her jobs are to buy the groceries, pay some of the loans, do the laundry, and mop, and then we take turns doing the bathroom. Now a lot of you are probably gonna say, well, you're the breadwinner, what's going on? Is it, I don't mind doing a little bit of extra, but it's the fact of she still does something. Granted, we both work, and I am perfectly okay with that. Now, if and this may sound a little insensitive, and I'm probably going to be called out on this one for being insensitive. If you quit your job to go to school, which I understand, working full-time and going to school full-time is no easy feat whatsoever. But if you quit your job to go to school, and yet you are failing that school, even though you don't have to worry about pretty much anything other than your schooling, other than taking care of the house, which honestly only takes about an hour. You do your dishes every night and you do a load of laundry every other day, it takes an hour, if that. It doesn't take long. And especially if it's online school at her own pace and to an extent. If you have a week to get a project done and you only have one project an entire week, and that's the only thing you really have to do that entire week, and you put that off until literally the due date, and you turn in this cup of dirt pretty much, yeah, there's something going on. And like OP was saying, she has well, let me try and find it here. She has depression and anxiety. I know those two things go hand in hand. And that hits kind of home for me. And I know depression is a beast in itself. It literally, it feels like you have a ton of bricks on your chest at all times. It makes you not want to do a single thing. And anxiety, that's its own demon in itself, and they play back on each other, and it's brutal. My wife currently has both, and some days it is a true struggle to get anything. But with that being said, he feels like she only falls. It's simply a fallback or cop out. Like, people use use a disability or something. Not calling anybody out on disabilities, because those are very, very real. What I'm saying is, like, I can't go to the grocery store because it gets my anxiety too bad. And then turn around and go to a concert and merchandise lines where there is easily 40 times more people in that concert than there is that grocery store. I don't know. My personal on here? No. He's not the asshole in this situation. Shit. Actually, I'm just gonna edit this out completely. I don't want any of that in there. Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this kind of content, please subscribe. Not only do I do Tales from Reddit, I also do some gaming. This spring when I get a better camera, you guys are going to see some improv sketches, and it's going to be great. With that being said, I know this is my second video in like 3 weeks. That's not normal for me, but I had time. I don't know if you can see it outside, but it is currently 7:55 p.m. and it is pitch black. It is dark. And me being a third shifter, I'm tired when I get home. I usually go to bed around 9:30 a.m. And I usually wake up around 5. So that literally only gives me a couple hours to get stuff done. And like I was saying earlier in this video, is you get the stuff done, it only takes about an hour to get housework done, and there's no light out and I don't have anything to do. Why not make a YouTube video? But if you guys want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.